Hi, this is Brad, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to update your host file, um, commonly referred to as doing a host file modification. And most people do this when they're testing their website when they're moving it to another hosting company. In this example, we're going to choose a well-known company. I'm going to do CNN.com. So let's say I own CNN.com and I'm moving it to another host. I'm definitely going to want to do a lot of testing before I update the domain's name servers to point it to another hosting company. So what I'm going to do is first go ahead and just add CNN.com as an add-on domain, and generally it'll go to public_HTML/CNN.com, but I've got a different setup than most people, so I'm going to have to do a quick change. And let's add the domain. Okay, and then I want to make sure I have just a generic landing page in there so I can do testing. And so what I'm going to do is create a new file and just call it index.html. And my test is done. So when we pull up the site, when I go to bradmarkle.com/cnn.com, there's a message that says this is CNN.com. So the goal is for me to be able to go to CNN.com, which is on currently their servers, and have it go to my InMotion hosting account and show this page. This is CNN.com. So if we take a look at the knowledge base here, the first thing we need to do is find the host file. And most of the times it's in C drive, Windows, System32 drivers, etc hosts. So let's see if we could quickly get that pulled up. Drivers, etc hosts. So here's my host file. It doesn't have an extension like .text. So what I'd like to do is right click on it, hold shift, and that usually has a open with option, but it's probably not working because there's no extension. So just go ahead and open up the file. When it asks what you want to use, go ahead and use Notepad. So here's my host file. It's always a good idea to make a copy of this before you make any changes, just in case you do any serious damage, which I doubt you will. But what we'll want to do is find the IP address of my server, the bradmarkle.com server. So what we're going to do is open up the command line and just ping bradmarkle.com. So we got the IP address, and we'll copy that in here. So you want to put the IP address and then CNN.com, and then again with www.cnn.com. Now, if you have any subdomains, you'll want to duplicate this. For example, blog.cnn.com and so forth. And what I did here, we're just following the example that's right here. The IP address and then the domain name. So we're going to go ahead and hit save on this file. Okay, it looks like we don't have permission to do this. And with the newer versions of Windows, you have to open Notepad as an administrator. So let me go ahead and copy the changes that I just did. And I'm going to go to my Start menu, find Notepad. You can't see it, but you find Notepad, right-click on it, and choose Run as Administrator. Okay, so I've got Notepad opened up here, so I'm going to go to File, Open, and again I'm going to have to navigate. So it's the C drive, Windows, System32. believe it was drivers, Etsy, and I don't see hosts because it didn't have an extension, so we'll just hit all files, select hosts, and here we've got the file. And unfortunately it didn't want to keep what I copied, so we're going to have to ping that domain name again. And again, I'm just pinging my domain name, which is bradmarkle.com. So we've got an IP address right here. Paste that in there. And we'll go ahead and save it. So really what we're doing is we're telling my computer and my computer only that when I try to go to CNN.com, load the site for CNN.com that's found at this IP address. We could have did a check beforehand to see what the actual IP address is, but again, for my computer, I'm going to go to my InMotion hosting server at this IP address and try to load CNN.com. Instead of doing a normal DNS lookup. So we'll want to see, I guess right now we'll go ahead and do the test. Now there are many times that the testing may work right away due to caching. For example, I've visited CNN.com, and so my computer here may have that IP address cached. But in this case, it did not have it cached. And so when I go to CNN.com, see, it's not working as I want it to, but you can see that it's pointing to it's not pointing to the CNN.com server. So let me go ahead and just put this video on pause real quick while I see if I can quickly debug what's causing that issue. Okay, so I'm back now, and you can see now that when we go to CNN.com, it loads the site on my server. It's no longer loading the default CNN.com site. Just in case you're curious, what I had to do is restart Apache on my server. I'm not quite sure why. I do have a VPS server with root access, and I do a lot of testing on it. So most likely something I've done in the past may have caused this issue, but I wouldn't worry about it. If you're on a shared server, you definitely should not be having this problem. But anyways, so this is how you do a host file modification. I hope this helps you understand kind of how it works and how easy it is. And if you have any questions about it, please do let us know.